Yeah. So today is going to be a bust because you can tell on my roof, even through the moonroof cover, that the damn rain is all over my car. Now, if I wanted to go and ride with the boys today at the dirt jumps, it'd be a fine ass day. But I need heat for that because I'm an old guy. So, all I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be driving up to a place called Deer Park in Washington. Turns out of all the places that I looked, I overlooked one park. Deer Park, Washington, Washington. They got a skate park up there. Wow, most of you guys that are gonna watch this are probably thinking, "Oh wow, they got a wooden skate park. That's cute." Nah, you don't understand. Them goddamn concrete fucking scooter fucking kid parks are like fucking fleas on a leash right now, man. They're just bouncing all over the fucking place. Fucking popping up in every single fucking goddamn Northwest town. So, an actual skate light park, hold on, there we go. An actual skate light park is very, very rare indeed up here. For that matter, indoor parks too. Except for that stupid ass place called the Lumber Yard over in Oregon. Yeah, fuck that place. I hear they got a half pipe somewhere. Like it's in their basement or something. That's like word on the grapevine. I've never been there because it's pretty much an 8-hour drive from my home to actually go down there. So if I ever do go down there, I want to make sure that they're not closed for COVID. Even though Oregon, it's okay to do crack cocaine out on the sidewalk in front of a public restaurant and take a shit at the same time, but yet all the businesses are closed because of COVID. What the fuck? So, yeah, the lumberyard is not open. Well, I don't know if they're open for like, small access or something like that, but the public access is pretty limited. If not, they're closed. I don't know. I have stopped trying to like actually find out when they were opening like months ago because I got bored. Because, if you're going to go riding indoor, when are you going to do it? In the rain or in the wintertime? So, that being all said, Deer Park. It's about an hour drive away. I'm not packing the bike for obvious reasons. As I found out yesterday after I got done building it and I took it around to go show a couple folk. Then I brought it to the bike shop to actually show what I did with the frame that I purchased from them guys. They enjoyed it. It's a beautiful bike. No matter what color you swing on it for fucking accents and stuff like that. I mean, it came out pretty good. I mean, god damn, those fucking white fucking hubs clash like a motherfucker, but some odd reason it works. But that paint, that is a shiny ass paint. Now the thing about it is most people don't know about clear coat is the smoother you make that clear coat, the nicer the finish. But man, does it love getting dirty. So I didn't want to take it out, put it on the back of the car, get it all water spotted up and shit like that. Like I said, I'm saving it for cinema. When them parts come out, that bike gonna get reborn. Yeah, so we had a rundown of things. Basically gonna go up there and just spot that park. From what I understand, they got a 10-foot fence, so I'm gonna have to view it from afar because apparently the soccer mommies and the foo-foo dads keep that place locked down the majority of the time, and it's very randomly opened for obvious reasons because they're scared. But they're idiots because, like I always said, the big stuff is the safe stuff. The little tiny ass scooter soccer mommy fucking skate parks made out of concrete with the goddamn fucking 2-foot obstacles and shit like that. Those places are dangerous as fuck. You go into those obstacles a little bit too fast, it's not forgiven. No, you gonna go home in the hospital, or go to the hospital instead of going home. I said that wrong. Forgive me. But life is good. You're gonna go ride a scooter park. I ain't gonna hold it against you. You can learn some good stuff there as long as it's not packed full of scooters and skateboarders. Skateboarders get in your way a little bit. Them scooter kids, man. Fuck them scooter kids. I don't know how many times I gotta explain how much I fucking can't stand scooters. Even though my BMX shop sells scooters, they know my content on scooter people. So usually when I'm there and I'm just chilling, talking to them guys, because I'm one of them dudes that just chills out at the BMX store and shoots the shit. A scooter mommy shows up with her dumbass kid. I'm like, toodaloo, motherfuckers, I gotta go. I can't be here with this scooter kid. Sorry. You're just not worth my time, even non-associating with you. I mean, it's not contagious or anything, but shit. I'd much rather walk into a goddamn establishment full of fucking goddamn sick-looking people with no mask on, getting coughed on, potential of 99.9 getting COVID, than hang around dumbass scooter family. Yeah, I said it. I'd much rather have COVID than fucking be around scooter people. Dumb motherfuckers. Yeah. There ain't no scooter park in heaven. There sure as hell is a scooter park in hell, though. I'm assuming. I mean, I'm an atheist and everything, but the damn thing is like, you know, you never know. But life is good. I just wish that basically, like, it wasn't raining today. It's supposed to stop raining around 4 o'clock. It's 3:48 right now. It don't look like it's letting up. But apparently, if I look at the forecast and the Doppler radar and stuff, that the forecast looks good over in Washington right now, because it's fastly coming into Idaho, and you know, that's where I am. Fucking Idaho. Don't judge the accent. This ain't no Idaho accent. This is an everywhere United States accent. Grew up in New York. Moved to fucking Connecticut. Lived in Massachusetts. Moved to fucking Nevada. Now I live in fucking Idaho. Even got a little West Virginia in me. So sometimes I talk like I'm from New York. Sometimes I talk like I'm from Mass. Now, I don't do that weird ass fucking speech impediment thing that them fucking people from Boston do. Changing words around and shit like that. That's goofy as fuck. Always crack me up. But those guys that talk like that usually got vodka in the house. They drinking that shit with orange juice and a little bit of crayon. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, that being all said and done, I think I should be up in Deer Park probably about 5. And if it's not raining, I'm going to get a little bit of video of that park. It ain't going to be anything special to the majority of people in the United States, or for that matter, around the world. But you know what? They got obstacles there that are fucking 5 to 6 feet tall. It's goddamn Graceland to me. We ain't got nothing like that up here. Unless I want to drive all the way to the other side of goddamn Washington. Now, I hear that over in Seattle, they got some good parks. been meaning to go there, but you know, Washington is just like Oregon. They're all locked down. So basically riding at a skate park is against, you know, public gatherings and public safety because of the fact that you might get hurt and then basically clog a bed up at the goddamn COVID center, aka the emergency room, full of fucking soccer mommies thinking that their kids got COVID, but meanwhile they just got the common fucking 24-hour flu. Take it from a guy in healthcare. 50% of you people show up not sick at all, thinking you got the COVID. Stupid asses. Now, I tell you what, I did get that Pfizer shot, and I'm telling you what right now, man, that body ache like a motherfucker. But it was worth it. I feel better now, but like yesterday, I think I smoked too many cigars, and I got a little bit of a throat pinch, you know, and I'm like, oh, fuck, man, I got the COVID. So I went through that stage myself. I was a little nervous. I didn't know if I was going to make it. Nah, I knew I was going to make it. I just drank more coffee and warmed up the damn tonsils a little bit, and the fucking goddamn pressure went away. Bam, done. So luckily, like the last 2 days, I haven't had to take a Tylenol, which you're not supposed to take Tylenol with the COVID shot. Majority of them, basically what happens is you take any sort of pain reliever for the fucking pressure that builds up in your arm from the COVID vaccine being broken down. It's not good because of the fact that basically your body counteracts the COVID vaccine in a wrong kind of way, and it doesn't process it, and it doesn't remember how to actually defend against it. So then thus forward, like, you just basically wasted 7 days of your life of fucking bodily pain getting the COVID shot because of the fact that you couldn't follow goddamn common principles that nobody's talking about and didn't do your research. So yeah, if you get the COVID shot in the next, you know, month or so, pretty much everybody in the United States is probably going to have it in the next month. If not, it's going to be probably one of them Democrat mandates. Everybody got to get this COVID shot. I only got it because of the fact that basically I work in the medical field and I don't want to deal with those 50% of people that actually show up that actually have it. I mean, we guard up and everything, but yeah, COVID. Yeah, I don't want to wake up not being able to breathe. I already had that happen to me one time back when I was 20 years old. Fucking, I got, it seemed like it was like mono or something. And my throat was closing up. And I knew I probably much had like about an hour and a half left before basically I was going to, like, you know, starve of air. And I was living up in the North Country of New York before I got married. And I had the in-laws basically. Well, they weren't in-laws at the time, but they were like, you know, my happily adopted parents pretty much. They drove me down to the emergency room, and I got ejected with a shit ton of fucking green steroids and shit. And they misdiagnosed me, and I had an allergic reaction to one of the fucking serums that they threw in, and my throat, like, instantaneously, like, fucking really closed up. Like, I went from can't breathing to really can't breathing, and they could see that my face was turning blue because I was, like, literally wisping for air. So yeah, I've already been in this situation where basically, like, people are suffering from COVID and everything, and not being able to breathe, and it's scary as fuck, and I don't want to live it again, because, like, there's two things that I worry about in life as a permanent consequence of living, and that's basically dying of lack of air, or dying from a big ass fall, which I didn't have that fear like earlier on in life. You just acquire the fear of heights the older you get. I remember back in like, I think it was 2003. Yeah, it was 2003 Christmas. Like, had the ex-wife over at my parents' house back home in upstate New York, and we were having a nice middle-class family Christmas and everything. And my pops, he's always been a stoner all his life, you know. He don't smoke because of the fact he wants to get high. He just smokes because of the fact that basically, like, you know, people piss him off, and or he's got body aches and shit like that because he liked to crash motorcycles all his life like he was Evel Knievel. But he was always been a stoner all his life, you know. He just smoked because of the fact that basically, like, you know, people piss him off, and or he's got body aches and shit like that because he liked to crash motorcycles all his life like he was Evel Knievel. So that back then I smoked pot too. My ex-wife did as well. And my dad, he got the good stuff. Like, this is before like pot was legalized all over the United States and everything. And like there was one of his guys, he was a botanologist, and he grew this really scary ass shit. Like, it was like real scary shit. Like, open up a page in High Times magazine, scary shit. And my dad, he rolled a fucking big fat joint, and like I already had like a couple hits out of a bowl, and like my dad starts passing this joint around. I'm already fucking stoned, and you know, like, I can handle my pot and everything, and like I was getting super stoned. And so I was like, all right, cool. And so it's Christmas, you know, it's Christmas. So my mom went out and bought my dad this weather vane for the brand new garage. My dad built this big old fucking like 5.5 car garage in the backyard, just so he could put a workshop up in the attic of it. Basically, like living in the upstate New York, you know, city. And when you talking New York City, for you ignorant motherfuckers, upstate New York is the other side. So I lived in a city. Well, my parents did. I grew up there. And my dad, like, literally a city, you know. Fucking houses just have backyards or a little tiny ass garage. And my dad built a goddamn farm stable back there. Like, big ass garage, farm roof and everything. And so my mom, she goes out and buys him a goddamn weather vane. And my dad's like, hey, Mike, you gonna help me go put this weather vane up? So he sets out this big old ladder. I think it was like a 36 footer or some shit like that. Fucking just puts it all the way up to the top. Keep in mind, it was snowy outside, concrete driveway, which is very rare in New York, by the way. But at the time, the price of oil was high. So basically getting a concrete driveway was actually cheaper. Which is actually a good idea. But the thing about concrete driveways is they don't really like the cold too often. And so, you know, my dad like gets this 36-foot ladder out, extends it all the way up to the roof, and you know, he put it at like a pretty like shallow angle, you know, like way far away from the fucking building, you know what I mean? Not close. It wasn't like steep. It was like a really nice incline, you know, like even an idiot could go up this ladder. Man, I quickly realized, keep in mind, like I was a normal adolescent back in my teens and shit like that. I helped all my uncles and stuff like that do roofing and shit for their companies. So I was really, you know, not scared of heights or anything. I was 23 years old at that time. 23. High as fuck. Got about eight steps up that ladder and I was like, nope. And then basically like went like 2 more because my dad was egging me on, and I like basically like it was the first time I ever had like mind freeze. I was like looking down, looking up at him. I'm like, I can't help you, man. I gotta get back down. Then I slowly staggered back down that bitch like I was drunk. I don't drink, and so it was a pretty fucking hilarious time because of the fact that I was probably only like, you know, 7 feet up in the air at the angle that I was at, but my mind felt like I was like 25 feet up in the air, and it was scary as shit for me. I think it was because of the fact that the ground was all snow covered, so it made it look like even farther away because there was no like shadows or anything. And this was at nighttime, so, you know, there should have been shadows, but there was no shadows, so I couldn't tell how far away from the ground I was. And so that's a little cool story about the background of me learning that apparently later on in life I turned into one of them pussies that can't handle heights. Now, I've been to a lot of fucking tall ass buildings around my years, and I've been to all around the world, and you know, like basically Dubai, like fucking all them tall ass buildings, you know, places the guys that don't like heights shouldn't go. But, you know, you're there, so you're like, I want to experience this. And yeah. It doesn't really affect me in construction, but it affects me actually, like, my balance and everything from that height. Like, I get really dizzy. Now, you're going to ask me, like, okay, Mike, now how the fuck did you be a vert rider back in the day. Well, like I said, this was when I was 23. Like, I was a vert rider back in my 20s. In my early 20s. Or early 20s. Because 23 is early, but... it was like, I think I stopped riding vert when I was 21, because that's when I had the big crash. And, you know, locking a tire up on the fucking deck on a 13-foot fucking half pipe, and then coming down and missing the transition at the base of the goddamn half pipe and just landing on the flat from fucking like pretty much 15 feet drop. Yeah, you're gonna fuck yourself up. But, you know, I just don't go as hard anymore. And like getting over the copain now is it's scary. But, you know, I'm an old guy. I can't like really fucking fully send it. I'm no fucking like, you know, former serious professional. I went to competitions and everything, but I wasn't ever on a goddamn stage at the end of it going, yeah, look at that, I placed something, I got my pro card. No, I never got my pro card. But yeah, when I was 23, that's basically when like kind of like old man syndrome started kicking in. That's when I knew. I was like, oh fuck, life is gonna suck now. Yeah, most people don't realize this, but my jaw's fractured. I got a fucking cracked cartilage in one of my shoulders. Pulled a shit ton of ligaments over the years riding fucking vert. I cracked this fucking shoulder blade. Not shoulder blade, it's a... Oh, fuck, whatever that bone is. I'm not a doctor. I just work in the medical field. You know, I'm the one that does the, you know, like fucking stupid shit in your room. Like, you know, look over your paperwork, make sure you're the same person and everything, and, you know, see what's going on and help you out. Check your goddamn vitals and stuff. You know, nurse stuff, you know. It's all right. I get paid a lot of money to do what I do. So, yeah, and that's just the upper body. Lower body's even more fucked up. I had staph infection after fucking get one of my nuts fixed. That was from another crash. Like go-kart days. I'll talk about that some other time. But like basically the nut couldn't it would take blood in, but it wouldn't let blood back out, so it was getting really big. I was getting that elephantitis, big bows, you know what I'm saying? Well, it was only affecting one, and well, I can't talk about why it was so goddamn good, because of the fact that basically, like, I gotta keep it kind of like PG-13, because like kids will probably be watching this, and I won't get no goddamn sex educations and stuff about the reason why like big ball is actually really fucking good. But so it got to a point where like it was starting to get painful, and when your body says, you know, like all of a sudden you're dealing with something for so many years, and all of a sudden it just starts hurting, it's a bad sign. So I go and get the goddamn fucking they put the gel on there, and they you know they check on my babies in there, you know, and fucking, and they're like, holy shit, you ain't got no blood flow going to that bitch, it's like barely going, you know. I'm like, oh fuck. And they're like, all right, we're gonna set you up for surgery tomorrow. So they set me up for surgery tomorrow, well, the next day, and I went to the surgery, and all I remember is like basically them injected me with a little bit of fucking wake up juice, and they were like, all right, Mike, come on over here, we're gonna have to see if you pee. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I was like, I can't, I'm too fucked up. So this is the first time I ever had somebody help me take a piss. So I'm standing above the toilet, and I got this other lady holding my dick, and I'm taking a piss. And I'm like, look, it works. And she's all happy and everything, and I wasn't pissing blood. And so I went back to my bed, and apparently, I don't remember this, but they were telling me about my special underwear that I had to wear to cover up these stitches. And so I don't remember it because I was still fucked up on their goddamn pain medications and sleeping like aids and everything, because I was in the hospital for probably like 18 hours after that surgery. And so some dumbass thought that would be a wise idea to actually tell me how to not get a staph infection and how to deal with this stitches on my balls and everything. And So they did that, and then, I go home. 3 days later, I healed up, and everything was fine. About 2 weeks later, swear to God, I got a spider bite on my hip. I'm like, fuck me, man. And so keep in mind, I rode vert, and I did land on my side really fucking hard that one day when I dropped 15 feet onto the flat. So my hip was already fucked up. Got a staph infection right on the top, right? Basically, like it's literally on my right upper leg, right about an inch below where my underwear line would be. So it's something to deal with the support that they gave me. Got staph traveled from there to the strap going around, and it basically, I got staph in that area, and it looked like a spider bite. So I'm going to my local pediatrician, or not pediatrician, but local family doctor guy, and I'm like, I got a spider bite. I think I got a spider bite, and they're looking at it and they're like, yeah, it looks like a spider bite. And it didn't really occur to me until my wife got staph underneath her armpit that I don't know how she got it underneath. I think it was because of bar soap. That's one of the reasons why I don't deal with bar soap anymore, because of that staph infection. But she gets staph underneath her armpit, and that's when I know, like she had a growth under there, and I'm like, oh, something really bad. And because this thing was just nasty, like it was completely eyeballed open, and there was a big old pus bubble inside there that I could try and pull, but it was actually a gland that was like infected, and it attacked the gland. I didn't know there was a gland there. I thought you had a gland on the inside of your leg, not on the fucking front side of your leg. And it's like a micro gland. I guess you got them all over your body. And so the family doctor, he goes, all right, we got to send you to a dermatologist. Go to a dermatologist. Her jaw drops. She's like, oh my God, like, because it's in proximity to my lower regions there, and if you get an infection down there, even an STD, like like fucking the common ones that you get from a hooker or whatever, they are life-threatening if you don't get them treated, because there's a lot of blood down there, and if it gets in your bladder, you're dead. Well, it just so happened that basically, like, this was probably inches away from my bladder, so she's freaking the fuck out. So she I'd never seen stuff in a vial that was black, and she injected me with that and gave me these pills after the test results came back after 24 hours. And my ex-wife, she just needed to take the fucking pills because hers wasn't all that bad. Mine was an open wound, and it was serious. She went in there and razor bladed out that gland and actually got it, like, removed out of the system, and she didn't get me more infected. Basically, like, less than 36 hours after I started those pills, shit went away. I had to take the pills for another couple weeks, and I never had staph again. But life is a tattoo. That staph infection has been a constant fucking issue with that leg ever since. Like, basically, like I said, I shattered that hip, and I had staph infection on top of that after. So I get like it's not arthritis, but it's like a dehydration arthritis. If my hydration levels are low, I know, because of the fact that I get that in that hip, and because of the fact that it's not a joint related or muscle related. I think it would be muscle related because it's in the tendons, but because of that, it inflames like that whole area, and then the inflammation actually goes up into my gut, and it's very painful. Like, it's very painful. We're talking like I can't do shit for like weeks at a time healing from it. drinking massive amounts of water. And we're talking like this happens like basically like on a fluke of me just basically like doing my thing and forgetting to drink water one day, and then I'm fucked for like a week to a week and a half. I've been being a lot better on my health and everything, but coffee don't help. As long as you're drinking a lot of water with the coffee, then you don't have to worry about it. But basically, dehydration happens to me a lot different than dehydration to most people. I don't get to that point anymore in my life where basically like I sweat so hard that I got, follicles of salt building up on my exterior of my body. I'm like literally drinking like a sieve at that point in time, like fucking, and I don't deal with that. Back in my younger days, like I'd be outside long enough that you could like wipe your face and it'd be like literally a salt cube by the time you got your towel off. And so that being all said, there's some stories from the background of Mr. Exon. I hope that was enjoyable. Learning about somebody that you don't know is actually pretty important in life because of the fact that basically you can reflect on things. And hopefully you learned from me. Because a lot of you guys basically that are watching this video from like a couple years ago doing all that ball bashing bullshit probably going to have to deal with the same goddamn situation. Now, I wasn't one of them people. I was racing go-karts and fucking basically like my nuts like fucking hit the goddamn center pole of a fucking racing go-kart. And at 65 fucking mile an hour, since I was trying to stop, it fucking all of a sudden I did stop at 65 miles an hour in less than a second. Yeah, my balls took a beating, and that was like in my teens, and it didn't really affect me until I was in my 20s. So that being all said and everything, I'm gonna end this video. I'm trying to watch this rain come down. It's 4 o'clock. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's still coming down. Got the cigar in my fucking hand. I can't even use it because of the fact that basically like when it comes down to it, I don't want to open up my window and get it all goddamn fucking wet and shit. So that being all said and everything, I'm gonna end the video at 30 something fucking minutes. 30 fucking something minutes. Give you some quality time with Mr. Exon today. Quality time. Official Mr. Exon. I ain't no video game playing fucking dumbass flu motherfucker. I'm making you watch goddamn blocky games and shit. Talking about goddamn fucking shooters and shit. I'm talking about real stuff. Real life. I'll catch you later.